Thank you, Pundula, and thank you, Jim. It's really great to be here, and it's especially great because I am part of a community that moved to Massachusetts back in the mid-90s, and being brought up in the mid-90s inside Massachusetts, not a lot of people knew about Tibet. And now, in 2014, to stand here with all of you guys and to just see how far we've come, where now my conversation about Tibet no longer is, where's Tibet? Oh, here it is. My conversation about Tibet is about what's happening inside Tibet. People want to know about the nomad resettlements. They want to know about why people are lighting themselves on fire. They know about Tibet, and they also want to know what they can do about Tibet. That's where the conversation is. That's the progress we've made. And it's because of individuals like yourselves and folks like Jim who have kind of pushed the Tibet conversation one step further. And this bill is exactly that step forward. This is where we need to go as the Tibetan movement. And it's great to be here on behalf of Students for Free Tibet, the organization that I work for, but also all the communities that I've been part of and I've seen over the last decade or so, the progress we've made. And for some of us, you know, we may ask, so what does this bill actually do, right? Why is China making such a big deal about restrictions over certain areas? And it's because, yes, we made a lot of progress, but the situation inside Tibet is actually extremely difficult. Maybe the worst that we've ever seen. And since 2009, over 131 Tibetans have self-immolated, lit their bodies on fire to protest. And when I hear that, and these aren't just Tibetan leaders inside Tibet, these are teenagers, these are mothers, daughters, sons lighting their own body on fire to protest. And as a Tibetan, I want to know why. So I read the messages they have left behind, calling for freedom. I read and listen to the audios that they leave saying they want His Holiness the Dalai Lama to come back. So this is what China is trying to hide, right? There's something that China is trying to hide, and there's something that Tibetans inside Tibet are trying to tell us. And we only get a small percentage of that. And what this bill will enable us to do is to create that communication, that information that we need so that international communities can step in and do something, because there's a lot to do for Tibet. I'm really happy to know that this is happening inside Massachusetts, my home state, that I've lived here for the last 17 years. And I know that Jim's setting an example that I think many of our congresswomen, congressmen from our districts can follow. So folks that are from Connecticut, you know, folks that are from from Somerville, some from Boston, from Cambridge, you know, and I know we have someone here from Canada. All of us can take this example, right, and implement it back home, but also take it to the next level where there's joint coordinated action for Tibet, where our leaders, world leaders, can hold China accountable. Because when's the last time that a Chinese official had to worry about what they had to do? With this bill, if this bill does get passed, they have to think twice. They have to think twice before they implement anything. And that's the beauty of this bill and its simplicity, saying, if you're going to design and implement restrictions inside Tibet, we're going to hold you accountable. And that accountability, I feel, is the beauty of this bill. But again, just to reiterate, this is the first step. It's being introduced. And I think we can all go home and lobby, call, meet with a representative so that there are more co-sponsors, so that it does pass the House, it does pass the Senate. And I just want to end by saying thank you, Jim, and thank you, all of you guys, for coming out. This is really amazing. And I know that, you know, with each step forward, this progress, I can imagine myself being here now 10 years later and just saying, hey, remember when we were here in 2014 when we just introduced that one bill? You know, and I want to be able to say, hey, look, the entire world is doing this, right? And I think that is possible. So let's take that extra step. Let's take that, because we're here on the shoulders I'm here on the shoulders of my parents who did so much, and I'm here on the shoulders of our previous generation. So let's, in 10 years, put ourselves in a position where Tibet can be free. Thank you.